Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna tell you all of the details in regards to Aion Classic, straight from the devs in Korea, their ideas and what they want to do with the game. We're gonna go through a series of questions about Aion Classic that the devs answered the same day as I posted my first video about this big news, exciting news for Aion, exciting in theory of course. Some of you in the comments of that video led me to Levo's Aion page, which to my shame I do not really follow because I don't really log into Facebook all that often. Now Levo, how can I characterize this guy? He's like a god of Aion, right? Really good player, much better than I ever was or will be, and then again so are many others that play Aion. I would advise you to follow Levo, but there is nowhere really to follow him besides this Facebook page, which I'm gonna link in the description below, as he's not really creating any YouTube videos anymore, which is a huge shame, as there is more knowledge and skill in this guy's mind and hands. It's just a shame he keeps it all for himself. Yeah, shout out to Levo. And can I give another shout out to all of you here on my YouTube channel who are supporting me and my work with a little bit of your real money every month. This join button, the paid membership, I really appreciate you guys and I thank you so much. I've had some people ask me in the previous video to show my Aion tattoo because I mentioned it. And I thought of a great goal when we hit 200 members. Right now we're at 25. Thank you so much, those 25 of you. When we hit 200, I'm gonna show you my Aion tattoo. Now let's get through this article. There's good things here and there's bad things. I will tell you both sides of the story here, because there are two sides always to the answer to these questions, especially two of them, which we're gonna get through when their time comes. The article is also linked in the description below for you guys to open it with Chrome and use Google Translate so you can see it in English. Yeah. First two questions: what is Aion Classic? Aion Classic is Aion like it used to be, patch 1.2, 8 classes, and then slowly they're gonna move through patches. You guys are smart, you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna slowly move through patches up until 2.7 patch as they currently have in plan. Yeah. What has changed? What is the highest level? Is it difficult to level up, etc.? This is an important positive side of rehashing the old Aion, because they have promised that experience rate is increased by 1.0, meaning double or double and a half, twice and a half faster than it used to be. It used to be extremely grindy, and I do believe that twice as fast as it used to be is a good medium. It's not going to please people in today's world, which are not used to grindy way of doing things. However, the majority is going to be satisfied with this. The next important thing is a question regarding balance in the game, and balance was kind of mildly found in the form of this remove shock skill, which was not there up until I don't remember exactly which patch. However, the remove shock skill, for those of you who are familiar with Aion, it removes the aerial stun, the aerial hold or the stun, and you need it in order to not be continuously stunned, right? So they are going to have that from the beginning, in case this was one of your questions. In addition, a two-handed weapon synthesis system was applied to relieve the balance, which was advantageous only for dual weapons. Back in the days, people who had two weapons, there was a whole thing about it. I don't want to get into extremely many these technical details in the video, but back in the days, people who had two weapons could potentially choose to have attack speed on one and a lot more attack because they gave up attack speed on the other, and so on. So now from the get-go, from patch 1.2, there's going to be an arm fusion system, which further adds to the balance, if you want to call it, in terms of gameplay, with the remove shock skill and with the classes who wear two-handed weapons. Another important thing is concerning sieges and the times for those sieges, which back in the days they were at random. Well, they had a specific interval in which they could occur, but right now they have decided to set them at a specific hour, because we're in 2020 and people are busier, etc. You can know when a siege is, so you can maybe log in from the live server to the classic server, or just log in because you love sieges and that's your time for Aion. So this is a very good change. In addition, you can use the advanced engine through the graphical engine. This means that we're gonna have the improved graphics straight from the get-go. I know from some friends that this improved graphics straight from the get-go will not allow them to create the looks of the characters that they had back in the beginning of Aion, because with the change in the graphics engine that Aion had at one point, I don't remember when it was in the real game, the character looks also changed. I know it's weird for me to know this, but I do know that the nose and the eyes and the lips, these things changed somehow magically with the new graphics engine, and that this will not allow them to have the old character looks. I know this is important for some of you. Will learning skills or equipping stigmas change? Aion Classic's skill system reproduced the skill system at that time. So there's gonna be the same skills that you had and the way you got them at that time. General skill books can be acquired by purchasing a skill book through a job instructor, the same as it was. Stigma is prepared as a system that consumes and equips stigma shards through the stigma master. Stigma shards. Wow. All other basic systems such as item trading and enchantment are going to be the same way as they were before. So the rates and the way it works and the cap of enchantment, which was 10, these are going to be the same as it was before. How do I update to the classic server? This is not a question that we care about for now. What is the difference in between the master server and the classic server? In Korea they have this thing as a master server, which was apparently like an event kind of thing. It was timed, even if not an event, and people are asking if this classic server will be permanent or not, and the answer to that is yes. The classic server is going to be a permanent thing that they're going to take care of separately from the live servers, and it is also going to be a separate client of Aion. You cannot just have from the inside the live client another server called classic, and that's where all of your progression will be. So this is another important thing. Do I have to pay the voucher? Classic server is based on usage rights like Aion had in the past, so it is a subscription, they want to say. The same price of the pass is being prepared for 30. It's going to be 15 euros or dollars for 30 days, and then they have also other packs for 90 days that are going to be a little bit less than 3 times more expensive. However, after 1 hour of use every day, there are restrictions, so you're not gonna get logged off after 1 hour. They do allow you to play for 1 hour every day as if you would have a subscription, which is in my opinion very few. However, after 1 hour of use every day, there are restrictions in certain areas such as experience, AP, not in certain areas, they want to mean, I believe in certain departments such as the experience department, abyss points department, etc. So I guess you cannot get experience, you cannot get abyss points after 1 hour of playing if you do not have membership. Can you do dungeons? This is another, yeah, sure, you don't get experience, but do you still get drops? I believe so. It's a little bit difficult to restrict that in Aion, and I don't think they're gonna put in so much development work to restrict that. So who knows, maybe 1 hour you do a siege or whatnot, you farm for 1 hour if you really want to be a free-to-play player, and then for the other 2 hours you try some dungeons with your friends and get yourself the drops from their PvE related stuff, right? Or gather Aether, right? Because this was a big thing back in the days. You needed Aether, and Aether gathering was done for hours in a row. It was botted most of the times, because I know I got banned once. Cool. What products are there other than a voucher? Okay, so here we get to the disappointing part, in my opinion. So they're asking what other things besides this subscription are there going to be with real money in Aion Classic. Classic server products include appearance and candy items. Candy items did not exist back at the beginning of Aion. Candy is something that's new, and in my opinion should not be there in the first place. As well as pets. Pets did not exist at the beginning of Aion, they came much later. Pets buff you, they can be set depending on what pets they're gonna be in the shop. They can be set to automatically buff you, which makes the game a little bit less than it was before. Because before, one of the exciting, very little insignificant parts of the game was the fact that when you rest up after you died, you had a very tough choice in between which scroll do you pop first, because there was a 15-second cooldown in between them. And change tokens for convenience, like gender change or name change, etc. So far, so good. Let's call it so far so good, yeah? you can purchase products using the Kuna shop. Aion Classic with Kuna shop, which is a real money conversion, which can be acquired within the game. The Classic server's Kuna shop is a separate market from the live server, but please note that you can use the Kuna that has been deposited or applied on the live server for purchasing things in the Classic server. So if your account is the same account that logs in on the live server and also on the separate client on the Classic server, you can use the Kuna that you have in the live server in the Classic server, which, as I've said already once, it is quite disappointing. Is there anything else besides that? So now we're asking the third question. So first we have a 15 euro membership. Then we have the Kuna shop, and now we're asking, hey, okay, on top of everything that you just talked about, is there anything else? A Deva Pass has made its way into Aion Classic somehow. This was obviously not there at the beginning. It's a 2020 way of doing things. And this Deva Pass is exactly the same as what Arcade Unchained is doing and has done since their release, where there is like a system in the game that gives you specific tasks on a daily, weekly, seasonal basis, right? And you finish these tasks. They are very easy: kill 20 mobs, kill a boss, participate in a siege, etc. And then you get rewards that help you progress within the game. All of this so far is for free, so the system is inside the game. It's amazing that it's there. I absolutely appreciate it. However, this line right here, this is the most disappointing thing out of the whole article. In addition, you can activate advanced rewards through a certain amount of real money, but you can get a little more rewards than you would get from the free version of this. So there's a free version of a Deva Pass that is very cool and it's very helpful, especially in Aion, to get you going with your progression. And then there's a paid version. You can pay some real money and get better rewards than all of the other people who don't pay any real money, or all of the other people who just pay a 15 euro membership for Aion Classic and they don't want to pay extra real money for this thing right here. As I was reading this line, the only question that was in my mind was, why is there a subscription not enough? If you're doing this for the fans, if you want to rehash my memories of the good old Aion, the lovely times I've had in this MMORPG, why is there on top of the subscription a Kuna shop with cosmetics for now? Cosmetics for now, let's just say it as it is. And then on top of that, the third thing is more real money that you would want to spend on this Deva Pass. The rewards that this Deva Pass is going to contain, as they say here, they only mention two things. Obviously, there's not only two types of rewards that this Deva Pass is going to have. There's gonna be much more than that. They say here, order books and potions. Now, what is an order book? Is it a crafting recipe? Because a skill book was translated nicely as a skill book before. If it would be the same word in Korean, then it would be translated the same. So what is it, like a skill, like a crafting recipe? What kind of crafting recipe? Are they good crafting recipes that back in the days were hard to farm and they were expensive to buy from the broker, stuff that people made money out of? What is a potion? Are there potions that are better than the crafted ones that people have to go through a lot of struggle to craft them? Are they the ones that came in 5.0 where they restored you % of HP? Are they 15-second cooldown potions as opposed to 30 as all of the others? Well, these are questions that need to be answered, and all of these two things are not the only things that are gonna be inside this Deva Pass, right? And with the elite version, advanced rewards of the Deva Pass that you have to pay real money for, there's gonna be little more rewards. Now, little more for now. What guarantee do I have that if this right here is the way we start Aion Classic with a real money cosmetic for now shop in the Kuna shop, and then on top of that there's more real money to be paid for the advanced rewards of the Deva Pass, simply because of my past experience of many years with Gameforge especially, but also with NC West and NCSoft in Korea as well, I'm unable to get happy and to feel a peace of mind that this right here, this is all that's gonna be with real money. I've talked to some other friends, old school players from Aion, and they said that for them, and this is the optimistic side of things, for them this is not really a big deal if it just stays exactly at that. Cosmetics with Kuna, only cosmetics and untradeable ones at that. And then on top of that, this Deva Pass would just contain exactly little more rewards, and the rewards that you get are not going to be tradable, and they're not going to be pay to win either, and they're not going to be much more rewards so that you would be forced to pay real money. So they said it's fine because it's 2020, and these days in 2020, because a game with a paid membership needs to have a lot of people paying the paid membership so that the development work would be worth it. It's much easier in WoW, they said, to have a paid membership because there's millions playing it and paying this membership for the same amount of development time in the back end, as opposed to Aion when there's 1,000 people paying the membership for the same development work in the back end and server costs, etc. So they said that this is an okay way to supplement the business and to make a little bit more money that you actually need as a company in order to survive in 2020, where there's few people paying this membership. So I'm okay with that, they're right, but still skeptical in regards to all of this, because I know how it started in 3.0, the whole charade with free-to-play. It started very slowly, very peacefully, nobody was suspecting anything, and then more and more and more and more and more bad things happened along months and years of the game's existence. The last three questions here are not that important for us, but as I said, the article is linked in the description below. Myself, I will choose to remain skeptical because these are some things that could potentially go very wrong, especially for us in the West. I will just take a back seat here, stay cautious, and update you guys on my thoughts or other big things that might happen with Aion Classic. I will also have a video teaching you how to play Aion Classic when this is going to be out next month in November. Maybe some of you are interested to get a first-hand touch of the game in Korea, so that you would see maybe your nostalgia is going to be so revived that you wouldn't care about whatever happens to the game, whether it's good or bad for us in the West. I wish you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you really soon. Take care.